Did you know that Earth has a twin? Well, maybe not exactly a twin, but there are planets out there that share many similarities with our home. And this got us thinking, how unique is Earth really? Are we truly alone in the universe, or is there life out there just like ours? There's only one way to find out. Join us today as we look at some amazing facts about Earth and uncover what makes our planet so special. You won't believe what you're about to learn. NASA believes that there could be anywhere from 100 to 400 trillion stars in the observable universe. At the center of our planet is a massive hole nearly 13,000 kilometers wide. This gaping void is known as the Earth's core and is the hottest place on our planet, with temperatures reaching up to 5,000 degrees Celsius. You probably don't notice it, but gravity is actually weaker at the equator than it is at the poles. The sun is a massive ball of burning gas that provides Earth with light and heat. However, it also emits a constant stream of charged particles known as the solar wind. In fact, the entire planet is drifting apart at a rate of 15 centimeters per year. There is a place on Earth where the laws of gravity are literally reversed. This phenomenon occurs in a small area of northern Japan known as Hamaru Town. Here, the downward flow of water creates an upward draft of air that can be strong enough to lift small objects such as snow. The upward flow of air is caused by a combination of factors, including the shape of the mountains in the area and the temperature difference between the land and the sea. This creates a perfect condition for snow to fall upwards. While this may not seem like a big deal, it is actually quite amazing when you think about it. The force of gravity is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. And yet, in this small area of Japan, gravity seems to be reversed. So, if you ever find yourself in Hamaru Town, be sure to look up, because you never know what you might see falling from the sky. This means that in 100 million years, the continents will be 15 billion kilometers apart. So while it may seem like the continents are stationary, they are actually moving at a constant rate. This movement is driven by convection currents in the Earth's mantle, which are caused by the Earth's rotation and the Sun's energy. The constant movement of the continents has had a major impact on the evolution of life on Earth. For example, the breakup of the supercontinent Pangaea around 175 million years ago led to the formation of the Atlantic Ocean and the isolation of the Americas from Europe and Africa. This isolation allowed for the evolution of unique species in each of the continents, which is why we see such a diversity of life on Earth today. If it weren't for Earth's magnetic field, these particles would eventually strip away our atmosphere and leave the planet exposed to the harsh vacuum of space. But luckily, Earth has a powerful magnetic field that deflects the solar wind and keeps our planet protected. Without this protection, life as we know it would not be possible. So next time you feel the warmth of the sun on your face, remember that you are also being protected by an invisible shield. This is because the Earth is slightly wider at the equator than it is at the poles. In fact, there are more bacteria on Earth than all other living things combined. Bacteria are single-celled organisms that are found everywhere on our planet, including in the soil, water, and air we breathe. Although some bacteria can cause disease, the vast majority are actually beneficial or harmless. In fact, bacteria play an essential role in sustaining life on Earth. For example, bacteria in the soil help plants absorb nutrients, while bacteria in our guts help us digest food. If it weren't for bacteria, our planet would not be able to sustain life as we know it. As a result, if you were to weigh yourself at the equator, you would weigh slightly less than you would weigh at the North Pole. Additionally, gravity is also affected by altitude. The higher you go above sea level, the weaker the gravitational pull becomes. This is why Denver, which is located at a high altitude, is known as the Mile High City. Because the gravitational pull is weaker at higher altitudes, people who live in Denver tend to be slightly taller than people who live at sea level. So, if you want to be a little bit taller, move to a city with a high altitude. If you were ever to travel to the center of the Earth, you would first need to pass through the Earth's crust, which is the outermost layer of our planet. The crust is made up of solid rock and can be as thick as 70 kilometers. Once you break through the crust, you would enter the mantle. The mantle is a thick layer of hot, dense rock that extends 2,900 kilometers below the Earth's surface. Finally, at the center of the Earth, you would reach the core. The core is a sphere of iron and nickel and is divided into two parts, the inner core and the outer core. The inner core is solid and extremely hot, while the outer core is liquid and even hotter. It is this temperature that makes the center of the Earth the hottest place on our planet. Yet the number of trees on Earth, over 3 trillion, far exceeds even the highest estimate. Even if you were standing next to a roaring star, you would be completely oblivious to it. Sound waves need a medium, such as air or water, in order to travel, and there is no such thing in space. This means that the vast majority of the sounds that we hear on Earth are actually vibrations that are traveling through solid objects. For example, when you walk across a wooden floor, the sound of your footsteps is produced by vibrations that are traveling through the floorboards. The same is true for most of the sounds that we encounter in our daily lives. The only time we hear sound in its purest form is when we are outside and listening to something such as birds singing or leaves rustling in the wind. But even then, the sound waves are still vibrating through a medium, such as air or water. These trees play an important role in sustaining life on Earth by producing oxygen and absorbing carbon dioxide. They also help to regulate the global climate and provide habitat for countless species of animals. So next time you look up at the stars and feel insignificant, remember that you are actually part of something much bigger than yourself. We humans often like to think of ourselves as being quite special, but in reality we are just a small part of a much greater whole. Number 10. Earth was once a much hotter place. According to scientists, around 4 billion years ago, our planet was incredibly hot, so hot that it was literally boiling. The temperature on Earth would have reached up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This was because Earth had recently formed and was still going through its adolescent phase. As a result, our planet experienced a period of intense volcanic activity. All the water on Earth was also vaporized, meaning that oceans, lakes, and rivers did not exist back then. Instead, Earth resembled more of a giant steamy pot. Over millions of years, however, things cooled down and Earth eventually became habitable for living things. Since then, our planet has maintained a fairly consistent average surface temperature of 57 degrees Fahrenheit. No, 9. Earth is constantly changing. It may feel like the ground beneath your feet is solid and unmoving, but this couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, Earth's crust is always shifting and moving, albeit very slowly. For example, India is drifting towards Africa at a rate of 16 kilometers per year. On average, continents move between 1 and 10 centimeters each year. And over millions of years, these small movements can have significant impacts on weather patterns and the distribution of plant and animal species. Additionally, Earth's crust is made up of numerous tectonic plates that are always colliding with one another. When these plates meet, they can form mountain ranges such as the Himalayas. They can also cause earthquakes and volcanoes. So, while it may seem like the ground beneath your feet is unmoving, there is actually a lot going on beneath the surface. 8. There are more trees than stars in the universe. Seriously, think about this. Number 7. There is a hole in the center of the Earth. That's right. Number 6. We can't hear anything. Did you know that sound cannot travel in space? That's right. Number 5. Gravity changes depending on where you are on Earth. Number 4. Earth's magnetic field protects us from the sun. Number 3. We share our planet with trillions of bacteria. That's right. Number 2. Continents drift apart at a rate of 15 centimeters per year. That's right. The continents are always moving, albeit very slowly. No. 1. There is a place on Earth where snow falls upwards. That's right. All right. Folks, that's our list of amazing facts about Earth. Do you know any other fun facts about our planet that we didn't include in this video? Share them with us in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome videos like this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.